man, fuck this show. 31 Corpses effectively shows us why Janeway and Tuvok are besties, how he's very good at what he does and how she can do anything, how he keeps her grounded and she pushes him to be flexible. Janeway appreciates Vulcan literature and we see her speak Vulcan. And then the episode closes with that camaraderie shattered. Tuvok denounces stories wherein heroes can do whatever they think is right, as long as everything turns out good in the end. It is a rebuke of a lot of modern storytelling, but it's also a direct rebuke of Janeway, and to a lesser extent, Kirk. I mean, if you decide the rules don't apply here, why can't I? The obvious answer is that I'm observing higher values when a series of words in a sequence fail to address the real-world complexity that defies the intent of those words. But it's a good question, and Janeway's answer, one of cold resolve through betrayed, barely restrained tears, is one that talks about the divergent beliefs that really underlie the different values which they both thought they shared. And despite that betrayal and honest confrontational honesty, Tuvok is caught because he protected Janeway. And Janeway is going to defend Tuvok at his court-martial. There's little moral ambiguity, but loads of narrative ambiguity. Can they be friends? What is their future? Worf and Kirk get arcs too, because this is a Klingon politics episode, actually. Worf wants to back the traditionalists and use crackdowns to end an uprising of oppressed Kryosians. Kirk naturally wants to give them their rights and end Klingon oppression. Worf learns that these small traditionalist houses are led by leaders who benefit from selling the traditionalists lies denying their political and economic irrelevance, and oppression of Kryosians is part of that lie. Kirk wants to set everyone free, but a talk with Tiburak, the leader of the great house that runs the sector, reveals that he just wants to uplift the Kryosians to dissolve and absorb the lesser houses of the region. Dude has zero ethical opposition to killing all of the Kryosians. He has workers from other holdings he can relocate to Kryos Prime. The end result is that Worf stays behind to help the lesser houses work together for security. The smaller houses think they have Federation support, while the Federation openly supports Tiburak's reforms. That wraps up with Kirk sitting down uninvited to Worf's table in the rec room, showing that he's learned his earlier approaches, couched in human respect, aren't effective with Worf. And yeah, Worf's confrontational traditionalist set of social norms do dovetail with the less evolved, tough love, and disrespectful norms of the TOS crew. But this is an Odo episode! So Odo is directing housing construction in the holodeck, and Dr. McCoy walks up to him. McCoy brings up the mission, how the Klingons' efficient labor practices let them act as a bulwark against Romulan aggression, how Kryosian rights would cause a domino effect across Klingon space, and how the Kryosians won't rest until they've restored their old empire. It is a compelling case for Odo to help the destruction of the Kryosian resistance on behalf of Federation citizens who aren't willing to let rules made by bureaucrats jeopardize the Federation's future. So he does it, after recognizing that McCoy isn't McCoy. As the episode goes on, we learn several of the things told to him were lies, and his discussions with Janeway about other changelings she saw while on a deep space mission give him perspectives on the mission and his duty. So when the Section 31 op goes wrong, his handler Hail Marys to Odo to finish the mission, which Odo seems to do while Worf tries to talk him down. There is a great scene where a guy carrying a message gets stabbed, but it turns out he's Odo, and Odo does the right thing and gives us an awkward but legitimate great Picard speech. It lays out the groundwork for Kirk and Worf's solutions. And it turns out our Section 31 handler was Tuvok, bringing us back to the start, letting us rewatch with more nuance the otherwise professional Tuvok and Odo scenes. It is the best one so far, with cool character combos, good social allegory, able acting and production, and real nuance. It is the duet of Enterprise 1.